All right. Well, welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. And I'm really honored to be sharing with you just my top 10 health tips for getting healthy and staying healthy. I have lost almost 100 pounds since I started my journey. And so I've definitely learned and grown in health along the way. And I'm still obviously growing and learning. But I just felt like I wanted to share some of my key things that I've found to be just super helpful along the way. So I'm going to just share my screen real quick. If I remember how to do that. There we go. And perfect. So obviously I have used a specific program in order to get healthy. And the program's called Optavia, and it really is, lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And I think that makes all the difference in the world when we're able to really break things down. And it's not like overwhelming. It's made easy. And Optavia stands for like optimal life, basically, and living a life like at optimal health. And so there's 24 little like radiants in the logo, and that's for 24 hours in a day. So we've always got a decision to make, whether it's going to be a healthy one or maybe not, one that's going to move us to health. So just kind of a mindful logo, which is really cool. So this is kind of a funny little thing. I don't know what it's called, whatever those are called. But how true is that? Like sometimes, we think that it's going to be, we're going to go to the gym and we're going to lose this weight, but so much of our weight loss and health come from our daily habits that we do. And most of that is in nutrition. The 80-20 rule is very true. Like 80% of weight loss and staying healthy is definitely done in the kitchen. And I would say 20% would be being active for sure. But so sometimes it feels like this. And I've definitely been there, working out and being a gym rat and being there for 5 times a week, and we're still not making any headway. And so when I found this program and found out that I didn't have to do that in order to lose weight and get healthy, I was like, okay, what is this and how does it work? So pretty awesome. Of course, I still love to be active, but sometimes when you're like 100 pounds overweight, it's hard to be active. So so I'll just quickly share my story. So I started this program when I was 270 pounds overweight, and I guess 270 pounds. And I started in October of 2017. At that point, I was sore, tired, self-conscious. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't get up and down easily off the floor, and I'm a licensed vet tech, so that's part of my job. And that was kind of really hard at work. People would be like, oh, do you want me to do that instead? And that was super embarrassing. I didn't really have a lot of energy to play with my daughter, and I wasn't really present at home. And I definitely had sore feet after working a 10-hour shift and joints, and I felt pretty hopeless. I didn't know what I was going to do to get myself back to a healthy weight. So today I am down like 90 pounds, almost 100 pounds. I'm pain-free. My feet don't hurt anymore. I have a ton of energy. I sleep great. I'm confident. I'm healthy, and I can get up and down off the floor. I'm hopeful, and I love to, I'm full of joy, and I love to help others, and believe in them until that they can believe in themselves along their health journey. So, so number one health tip is to be clear about what you really want and why, or it won't happen. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So my question to you is, are you doing this with your health? you definitely, it's definitely easy to get in that little rut, you know, and sometimes it's just comfortable, you know, to do what you think is going to work. And, but then like, is that really serving you, or is like a cleanse or whatever other thing that you might be doing, you know, is it actually, are you seeing results? And is it actually moving you towards health, or maybe it's moving you further away from health? And I know how frustrating that can be, you know, just doing something that's not working, you know, trying to cut carbs or do a cleanse or do the Whole30 or something like that, that's very limited in time. It's not really working on your habits and creating those healthy habits. So definitely knowing really what you want and why you want it is going to really help. And I even suggest like posting those up, you know, in your bathroom. Sometimes people find like getting like a dress or an outfit that you're going to fit into when you do reach your goal weight or on the way is super helpful. And you know, just having visual aids like that, but also like posting your why up in the bathroom or on your dashboard. And that kind of just helps you keep it in the forefront of your mind. So, yeah. And then just kind of challenging yourself, like, you know, what's holding you back from getting what you really want? And then could there be a different way? You know, have you ever thought, like, I mean, pretty much I felt like when I was trying to get healthy, I was like, I will do anything at this point because this is getting to a point where I just don't know what else to do. And so I was very open to a different way, you know, than what I thought was going to get me to my goal. So staying open, I think, is important. So this is one of the awesome things that we teach in our program, and it can be applied to like any goal in your life. You know, obviously we mostly apply it to our health goals in our program, but it's a structural tension chart. And so up at the top is your goal or your vision, or where you want to be, your desired outcome. So for me, that would have been like losing 100 pounds, not being in pain, having energy, feeling good about myself, and being confident in who I am and how I look. Those are all things that I really wanted when I started this program. And your current reality would be where you were, you know, or where you are. So I was 100 pounds overweight. I was tired. I was sore. I was, you know, hopeless. And then those secondary choices are the action steps to be taken to accomplish your goal or vision. So for me, it was getting on the 5-in-1 weight loss program with Optavia, you know, and staying on program, drinking at least 80 ounces of water a day, you know, moving my body and staying active, getting enough sleep, decreasing my stress level, and you know, and making sure I was in community with people who were trying to do the same thing, because I think that's a huge part of getting and staying healthy. It's important, like either your family's on board. I mean, like the people you're hanging out with, that they know what you're doing. So that's a really great resource to have for sure. So definitely creating new habits requires new roads. You know, our minds are pretty amazing, and we can actually reprogram them, which is great. And that's how we create habits. And so thank goodness that we can do that. So yeah, so definitely with your why, I encourage you to write it down, write your goals in the positive. So not what you don't want, but what you focus on, what you do want. Sometimes we can focus on the negatives, and that's what we dwell on, and often where our mind goes. And it's easier than to give into those things that you I guess that you don't want, instead of focusing on those things that you do want. And then, yeah, what are you running towards? What does that look like in your life and in your health? So let's see. So make the choice that supports things that matter to you most. So this is Dr. Anderson. And sorry, I'm just going to stop sharing for, well, I don't know. That's okay. somebody raised a hand, and I'm like, I don't know if there's something going on or if everything's good. I think everything's good. I'm not getting text messages. So, so Dr. Anderson is our medical director of Optavia, and he is amazing. He has, he basically, so he was a emergency and critical care specialist doctor, board certified, and he was working in that field for 18 years. And he just was getting tired of seeing people come in to the ER, month after month, and he would send these people home with a different medication, but he wasn't really like fixing anything. He wasn't really helping them heal. He was just kind of putting Band-Aids on things. And so he decided to actually walk away from that traditional medicine and critical care side, and he decided to focus on nutrition. And so out came Optavia, and he has changed over, tons, thousands of lives. I don't even know the numbers, but pretty amazing. And so Optavia has 4 components to it, and that's, why it's so successful. Optavia, our results are predictable and bring complete change. So it's pretty awesome. So the first component is a health coach. So every client gets their own free health coach. And that's pretty amazing. We just basically link arms and, work on our health together. And I think the extra support and accountability has been huge in my own journey. I think another huge component is our health community. So like I was saying, like you're most like the 5 people that you hang out with most in your life. And so if those people are not committed to health, it's going to be really hard for you to stay on track. Not impossible, but that's also why, it's really important that you plug into our health community so that you have that support that you need. And then the third component is education. So Dr. Anderson has written 2 books that we follow in our program very closely. So the Habits of Health book is more focused on your body and how it works, and what optimal health looks like. And then the second book is our mindset training book and our workbook, and it really helps you go through triggers and just really create those healthy habits, and helps you be mindful about eating, about food choices, and they're really amazing books. So that's a huge component, again, of our program. And then number 4 is our sound nutrition. So, and I'll kind of go over that a little bit more down the road here. But yeah, our community is awesome. You really do surround yourself with like-minded people. We do have webinars on Wednesday nights, and tonight was actually on structural tension, which was, it was just an amazing webinar. And those are recorded. If you look up on podcasts, the podcast station, just Optavia, Habits of Health, you guys can tune into that too, even if you're not clients, and just some really good information all the time. And then as a client, you do have access to our nutrition support line, which is, there's doctors, nurses, and nutritionists that work for us, which is amazing. So I kind of went over those, but these are really the 4 anchors of our program. And all of them, honestly, are 25% of this program. So if you're not plugging into all of them, you're really missing out. So you're not going to have as much success as you want. So, okay, number 3. So get crappy foods that aren't serving you or your health goals out of the house. This is a huge one. My husband has been awesome about this for the most part. He hides things that he that he wants to eat that aren't going to be serving me or this program. And he is very awesome about that and helps me stay on track. So that's really, really great. And then number 4, work on your mindset about health, and I don't know what that says. And yourself. Okay. So I think that definitely this is a really important one. This is like really huge, actually. This is really where it all comes down to, I think. And we have a lot of things that we work on in our program. So the first thing I'll go over is, I'll try and go, I don't even know what time it is, so keep track of that. But stop, challenge, choose. So this is something that Dr. Anderson came up with, that it really is amazing, and it really makes us mindful when it comes to making food choices. And so I'm just gonna look back at my notes really quick, but like really the idea is that you really just stop, you think about, hey, like, okay, let's say you want a piece of chocolate cake or something like that. And you stop, you challenge yourself, you start thinking about, if you guys aren't muted, do you mind just muting yourself? Sorry, I can't get back to that screen real quick. But anyway, so stop, you want to stop, you want a new way of thinking, and so yeah, so basically we want to just stop and think about, okay, so is this chocolate cake gonna serve me? Do I really need it? You can ask yourself, like, am I hungry? First off, because oftentimes, we're maybe emotional, and we're trying to fix that instead of instead of really being hungry, we might be trying to fix our emotions and deal with stress or sadness or whatever it might be. So you just want to challenge, your thought process about that food, and really start just being mindful about it. And then you want to make a healthy choice, or just a choice that's mindful. So if it is like having a piece of chocolate cake, then and you really decide that that is what you want, and you have really thought about it, and you decide, yeah, I do want to have that. At least you've been mindful about it, and that's huge. Obviously, you don't want to choose chocolate cake every single time, but yeah, it does really help, to just make you mindful, because before this program, I was not mindful. I was an emotional eater. I would go to the store and buy a whole bag of candy and eat it in one sitting. And I did that lots. And so definitely was trying to deal with stress and any other emotions going on, depression or anything else. And so it's been super helpful to have this in the back of my mind. The other thing to remember too is BLASTED, which is an acronym for emotions that might come up when you are wanting to, maybe eat your emotions. And so BLASTED stands for bored, lonely, angry, stressed. What is the T? Oh man, I can't remember the T, but and then E is excited, and D is depressed. So yeah, so definitely good just to be aware of how you're feeling, and then like another really good thing to do is make another comfort list. So like oftentimes, like I was saying, we want to eat our emotions, but what other things can bring you comfort instead of food? And starting to write some of those things down. So for me, like just like a warm bath, some tea, yoga, reading, crochet, going for a walk, or being active. Those are some really good ways to deal with that. So the other thing too to think about is, am I falling for a food fallacy? So basically, those are things like that we tell ourselves about food. Oh, well, it's free, so I have to eat it. That's not true. You definitely don't need to eat it. It's a rare opportunity. I shouldn't waste food. And for that one, I just say, do you want to waste it, or do you want to waste it? Like waste as in putting it on your waist. I pay good money for it, so I shouldn't eat it. I'll be missing out on the fun. I'm a foodie. How will I feel after eating this? So that's a really good question to ask yourself, and to be in tune with how different foods make you feel. Oftentimes people, feel really bloated, or their stomach hurts, or they feel tired once like their sugar rush goes away, So definitely think about that before you eat something that's not going to necessarily get you to your health goals. And then how will it affect my emotions? Is it going to help you feel better? Maybe for like 2 seconds, and then you're going to be like, oh, why did I do that? So think about that. And then like ask yourself, 1 year from now, will I regret not eating this, or be proud that I stuck to my goals? So just really like bringing mindfulness into everything. Then the other thing too that's been huge is personal development. So tuning into podcasts and books. So right now my favorite is Rachel Hollis, Rise, and the Rise Together podcast that she does with her husband. They're actually focusing on health this month and what they do to perform at the level that they perform at, because she is traveling like a ton. And anyways, definitely tune into that. The Habits of Health books and the webinars are amazing. And yeah, if you don't change your mindset, your habits don't change, and therefore nothing will change for good. So definitely keep that in mind. Oh, sorry, I don't want to go. Okay. So educate yourself about health is number 5. Educate yourself about health and what it even truly looks like. So definitely, I kind of went over that already, but it's so awesome. I'll just say this, like, it's so awesome to know that our program is scientifically proven, and it's based on science. It's based on doctors, like it's written by a doctor. And a lot of doctors have actually prescribed our program to clients and their patients. So that's awesome. Like 20,000 doctors, I think even probably more at this point. But obviously the medical field stands behind it, so that's pretty amazing. Number 6, this has been huge. Plan meals for the week on the weekend, and then grocery shop for all meals at one time, so you don't have any excuse to deviate from your planned meals. And just like do as many things as you can to set yourself up for success. So that's a really big one. Number 7, definitely have easy grab and go options to fuel your body in the car, your purse, your diaper bag. So just, our fuelings is what we call them, but the complete nutrition that the company provides for us, 5 of the meals that we eat in a day, they are amazing. The grab and go options like the bars or the shakes or the crunchers, they're like kind of more snacky options. Those are so awesome to have instead of going through the drive-through or having to stop at the grocery store and buy, a bar, I guess. It's nice just to have those with you at any time so you don't get hangry, and you also don't reach for fast food. So I will talk a little bit about our fuelings. So they are low glycemic. They're grab and go, like I was saying, fuel for busy lifestyles. They're totally goof proof because they're so easy. They make staying and being healthy so easy. And we really do have plans for every phase. So weight loss, nursing mothers, diabetic plans, and maintenance plans too. So number 8, so don't view this as a diet. We're not depriving ourselves. We're truly investing in our health and in ourselves. So this is really a lifestyle change. And you want to get out of victim mentality and try abundance mentality instead. So some examples of things to say to shift our abundance mentality is, I'm choosing to make my health a priority right now. I get to eat healthy food. I get to eat healthy food, not, oh man, do I have to choose to eat healthy food? But I get to eat healthy food. And then, if somebody's trying to like push dessert on you, or I don't know, anything that could, kind of set you back in your health goals, I, simply say, no, thanks. I'm working on my health right now. And most people really respect that. So also remember that there's always going to be an event or a birthday or a celebration and temptation to deviate. So if you do deviate, then you can definitely like just take that as a learning moment and decide what you're going to do differently next time. So definitely getting back on track quickly is key. A lot of times people just go off track, and then they're like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to quit, or I'm just going to like wait until the weekend to get back on track, or but like you guys, you can do that like every 2 hours. You have an opportunity to, in our program, we eat every 2 to 3 hours. So every 2 hours, you have an opportunity to get back on track. And don't like let the whole day be wasted because of one unhealthy decision. So number 9, eat every 2 to 3 hours, 6 times a day. So this is what we do in our program. And this balances blood glucose levels, decreases inflammation in your body. It's amazing how good I feel when I'm on our program because of the inflammation decrease. And with our program, you enter fat burn and you use your fat as energy, so cravings go away. It's pretty amazing, and it really helps you form those healthy habits because you don't have those cravings. You don't get hangry, which is awesome. That's been a huge, huge blessing for me. I definitely used to do that and get like really grumpy all the time. And you don't feel hungry. So this helps you not reach for sugar or, you know, if you're a savory person, not for chips or anything like that. So this is a low glycemic clinical study that was by David Jenkins at the University of Toronto. And basically they had 2 groups. So one of the groups ate 3, you know, standard traditional meals a day, and another group ate 6 smaller meals. So both groups ate the same number of calories, and the same exact foods were eaten. Just how often and the portion amounts per serving was different. So the clinical benefits that were seen in the 6 small meal group was they lost more than 2 times more weight than the 3 meals a day group. They were less hungry, and they reduced their cholesterol by 15%, and they reduced like over and above the 3 meal group, and then they reduced their blood insulin by 28% over the 3 meal group. So you can really see too, even on that graph, that like you're really just helping your body be at like a more stabilized blood glucose level, which really helps so many things. And that's really how our bodies were designed to be. So pretty amazing. Okay, so number 10 is get outside and be active with others. So this is something that I am starting to do more and more, especially as the weather is warming up. So yeah, and it's so much fun. Like I went walking with some moms this last week, and I just kind of created a walking group. And that was so much fun. We just took our strollers and walked around the marina here in Reno. And, you know, the other thing to remember too is really cool is that while exercise, you know, is important and a really good habit of health, it's not required in our program to lose weight. And I was like, yes, I did say that. What? It's because our nutrition is so on point. So it's doing all of the work for you. But we do certainly encourage you to move your body, as it is a great habit of health. So this program is also great if you do have an injury where you can't exercise, because then you're still able to get healthy. And when you have less weight on those joints, it'll be easier to move around, and you'll be able to kind of heal in the process. So amazing for that. And then the other thing to remember is like you really are like the 5 people you hang out with most. So definitely make sure those people are encouraging you in your health journey, or it's going to be really hard to stay on track. And then I do want to challenge you guys, like be the change that you want to see in your friends and become a health coach. I have to offer that because being a health coach is amazing. And it really is just so much fun to believe in others and see the transformations that they go through, be able to help them along the way. And really all you need to be is, care about people and just like be willing to help them. And that's really all you have to be as a health coach. So, and you really are 500 times more likely to keep your weight off, which is a pretty amazing statistic. So I would love more people to do some health coaching with me because it is fun and you're changing lives. So it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to, I think I have one more slide. A couple more slides. So this is kind of a cool school quote and something to think about. So you're not stuck. You're just committed to certain patterns of behavior because they helped you in the past. Now those behaviors have become more harmful than helpful. The reason why you can't move forward is because you keep applying an old formula to a new level in your life. Change the formula to get a different result. So, yeah, sometimes we just have to change change the formula. And okay, so some of this got cut off a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to actually stop sharing so I can read all of this. So hello, everybody. Can actually see your faces. It's nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. Let me just go to that last slide so I can read those kind of action steps. Okay. Put this over here. Okay. Oh, I still can't see it. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Okay. Let me just go back here. Okay, I can kind of figure it out. So the first action step would be like really writing down and getting clear on your why in health. So, what weight would you want to be, and what healthy habits are you wanting to work on? And also challenge you guys to set a date to reach that goal. You don't doesn't mean you have to reach it by that date, but it's helpful for that like structural tension that I was talking about at the beginning. To have a goal in mind and a date in mind. And then number 2, set up a health assessment with me to see if this program is a good fit for you. It takes like about 20 minutes, and you guys already know a lot of what I would say anyways, but I would love to hear more about your health goals and kind of where you're at right now and where you want to go. So we kind of just walk through your why, and just see if this is a good fit for you. And then find some friends who want to get healthy with you, because it's way more fun to get healthy together, and be in community doing so. And obviously you're going to be more successful that way too. So let me see. Okay, I can go back here. Okay, so so that was all of my healthy tips. Do you guys have any questions at all? You can kind of open it up for questions. And if you don't, that's totally fine too. And I'll just stop the recording, but yeah. No? No questions. Okay, I'll stop the recording.